And here we are with our beer of choice for this Saturday afternoon. I do my beer reviews every Saturday. So today I'm going to be doing reviewing a beer from Sweetwater Brewing Company. And the beer is called Goin Coastal. It's an IPA with pineapple. This particular beer is it's brewed out of Atlanta, Georgia. And let's do a little quick write up in the back. It says Goin Coastal IPA with pineapple. Slip into some sunshine and step off the grid by going coastal with this pineapple-laced IPA. The bright aromas of the 5 citrus hop additions are accentuated by the tropical fruit of the pineapple. And just like those 3-day weekends, it finishes quick. And it says, cash in a sick day and grab another. Now, I've never had this before. Seen it quite a few times at my local grocery store, so I'm just was kind of curious to see. Never had a beer before with a pineapple twist to it, so I was very curious to try it out. This time of year, early spring, I really like to have refreshing beers. You know, you kind of get bogged down all winter long, drinking these real heavy IPAs. So in the springtime, for me at least, I like to have something real light and refreshing. So yeah, let's give it a whirl, give it a try. I already popped off the top to be preemptive. Let's see what this tastes like. All right. So, as you can see, it's got a kind of like a golden yellow color to it. Let's give it a little whirl here. Well, it's very light and crisp. I definitely can taste the pineapple tones to it. I'm trying to think of something it reminds me of. It kind of tastes like Blue Moon a little bit. It's got that Blue Moon taste, if you've ever had Blue Moon beer before. Tastes like Blue Moon, but it's got this pineapple twist to it. It's not very hoppy, so if you don't really like hoppy beers, then it's got a hoppy taste, but it's not too overly bearing. So it's very light and citrusy, and it's got a little pineapple taste to it. So yeah, this is a beer that you probably could put back quite a few and, not get that bogged down feeling, drinking a really heavy beer. It is, I believe, kind of higher percentage. So 6.1%. So it's a heavier beer, higher percentage, but it tastes light and crisp. So this would be a good sitting on the beach kind of beer right here, in my opinion. But yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoy it. When I was at the grocery store today picking this up, I actually saw a combo pack that had several of the beers in their particular lineup. So there was like 2 of each. I think there was 5 different beers, so it was like 10 beers in this case. Yeah, I might have to go pick up that case and try out the other ones in here. I picked up this one though because, like I said, I'm looking for a really light spring beer, something just, real light and crisp. Nothing too overbearing. And this definitely does the trick. I highly recommend it. That's pretty much it. Alright guys, stay tuned for the second part of the video. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be reviewing 2 of my Blu-rays. I'm going to be reviewing 1981's slasher, Just Before Dawn. It's one of my favorite slashers of that era. So I own 2 copies of this film. I own the Code Red version, Just Before Dawn, and I own the 88 Films, which has just been released not too long ago. The 88 Films release of Just Before Dawn. Both pretty good releases. I wouldn't say it's a definitive release for either one of them, but I'll let you be the judge at the end of the video which one you think is better. So yeah, I'm going to do a review on these two releases, and then at the end of the film, I'm going to share my thoughts of the film and why it's one of my favorite in the slasher genre. Alright, so first up, we have the 2014 release from Code Red. It's Just Before Dawn. And it's pretty much a bare bones release. You have the first time original uncut version from the original internegative. You have the extended cut for overseas distribution. And then you have the original theatrical trailer. And that is it. So the original uncut version is basically 91 minutes long. And then the international extended cut is 102 minutes long. So basically with this release, you're getting about 11 minutes of edited film that's been taken out of the film to cut the running length of the film. So basically what they did was they cut out a bunch of dialogue, just small conversations between characters. Nothing of great substance was added in the extended cut. So you're not getting any extra kill scenes or any gore scenes or anything like that. They didn't really cut this down to get a rating. They basically just cut out stuff that was kind of making the film longer than it should be. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not really much to this release. It's a great film, but this release is pretty much bare bones. I will say the international extended cut, they didn't do any repair to the footage. So what you're getting is a really grainy, pixelated version of the film. If you like it with that grindhouse feel, then the extended international cut might be the way to go. But yeah, they didn't do any doctoring up of the extended cut, so it's basically almost like a VHS, borderline DVD port of the movie. But yeah, I love the cover art on that. Let you look at the back of it. For what it's worth, I picked it up for about $40 about a year after it had been released. So typically with these Code Red releases, if you don't get them within the first couple months of being released, then you're basically going to be shit out of luck. And scalpers are just going to be hoarding up copies of these things and charging ridiculous prices for them on eBay. And I didn't get it right away, so I fell victim to the eBay scalpers, and I ended up shelling out $40 for this release. Which, it's one of my favorite films, so honestly I don't really care spending that much. But I had to have it. It's the only copy of the film that I had to that point. So I ended up shelling out the money for it. But it is a bare bones release. Don't expect too much more than the film. Alright. Then we get into the 88 Films release, which in my opinion is the better release, obviously. They have their Slasher Classics collection, and this is number 27. Awesome release. It's got a slew of special features on here, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I just want to kind of show you that it's got the slipcase. So similar to Scream Factory releases and Arrow releases, it's got the nice little slipcase to it. These slipcases are limited to about 1,000. So if you don't get these, if you don't order within the first few months of the release, then you're pretty much just going to be getting the case and nothing else. But yeah, pretty nice little cover art there. It's actually my favorite cover art of all the releases. Let you take a look at the back. Alright, so let me dive into what the special features are. On this particular release, you have a high definition transfer from the internegative. You also got audio commentary with author and critic Justin Kurzel, Callum Waddell, director of Slice and Dice, The Slasher Forever. And then you get the extended cut, optional overseas version of Just Before Dawn. You also get a new exclusive interview with director Jeff Lieberman. Grindhouse All-Stars, insightful new documentary with which Lieberman, Roy Franks from Street Trash, Matt Keimer, and Joe Ellison from Don't Go in the House share memories of the slime and grime of the Grindhouse glory days. Comes with 2 theatrical trailers, a gallery of on-location stills from Jeff Lieberman's personal archive, Just Before Dawn and Grindhouse Chic collector's booklet from Callum Waddell, and it comes with a reversible sleeve with original poster art. So yeah, this is a pretty loaded release. Definitely much better than the Code Red release. I will give it that much. Yeah, let's just go ahead and open it up and check it out. So with all the 88 Films releases, they all come in these red cases, which is a nice little touch to it. This particular release is region free, so now some of the other 88 Films releases are region B locked. This one is all regions, so it'll work on any Blu-ray player, which is really nice. So yeah, this is actually the reversible art, and then they have newly commissioned artwork, which is what was originally on the cover when I first opened it up, but I flipped it over to be able to get this artwork. And the Blu-ray's got the newly commissioned artwork. And then here is the original newly commissioned artwork that was on the cover when I first opened it up. And with the majority of the 88 Films releases, they come with these cool little books. So these booklets, they have, there's a few pages, basically like a synopsis of the film, kind of like, director's insight, a little, tidbits of information that you might not have known about the film. So yeah, that's what it looks like. We got the little booklet here, and I'll just open it up and let you take a look. So yeah, got a little bit of artwork, a little bit of insight from the film. Pretty cool stuff here. And then there's the late George Kennedy. Great underrated actor. Does an excellent job in this film. And then a little bit about the making of the film. So you got the actual poster art for the movie when it got released. And then when the film first came out, it was under the title of Survivance. I think they changed that because it was too similar to Deliverance. And a lot of the people that watched this film originally before it got released said that it was kind of a ripoff of Deliverance. And I've watched it, and I don't really think so. It's a slasher film. It's not. I mean, it's got some things in there that are similar to Deliverance, but it's by all means it's not Deliverance. But yeah, so they changed the title from Survivance to Just Before Dawn, and in my opinion, that was the right choice to do. So that's a little booklet. So, this release right here is, in my opinion, the far superior release. If you picked up the Code Red release and you're thinking about upgrading, I would honestly say, if you're the type of person that's got to have the film with special features and you want to know the ins and outs of the film, I would say go ahead and pick up this 88 Films release. If you just really care about watching the movie, both these films have the same transfers. I've watched this one several times, and they say that it's a new transfer from from the original negative. I have a hard time believing that, to be honest with you. It could be a new transfer, but it looks almost identical to me. I really can't tell the difference. Sound quality's good on both of them. Video quality's about the best you're going to get for this film. So really, what you're looking at here is: do you want the bare bones just for the film, or do you want to basically upgrade and get special features? I would say if you have this and you just care about the film, stick with this. If you don't own the film, I would say just go ahead and jump and get this one. It's really not that much more. It's actually cheaper than buying this one. So you're going to shell out an arm and a leg on eBay from scalpers trying to pick this one up. And I ended up buying this one first, so it was a no-brainer. I just wanted to upgrade and get this one. But yeah, this to me is the far superior release. I would highly recommend picking it up. Alright guys, stay tuned. I'm going to do my little review of the film. So with 1981's Just Before Dawn, excellent film, directed by Jeff Lieberman. Easily in my top 10 of favorite slasher films. It's not your typical body count film by any means. So if you're going into this film thinking that you're going to see, Friday the 13th or The Burning, you're not going to see that here with this film. Jeff Lieberman did an excellent job developing the characters, pacing the film. So basically it starts off kind of slow and gains momentum as the movie goes on. And that's just a credit to his excellent directing in this movie. It's very atmospheric. The cinematography in this movie is absolutely beautiful. It's probably one of the most beautiful films that I've seen as far as slasher films go. But yeah, just jump right in. Basically, what the story evolves around is a group of 20-year-old kids. One of the kids basically inherited a plot of land up in the mountains. So the five of them go, take a trip up in the mountain, and they all jump into the camper. And along the way, they end up meeting a forest ranger who basically warns them that there's you don't know what's going on up in the mountains. You need to turn around. And so they kind of dismiss that. They're just like, hey, look, we're going camping. We want this plot of land. So we're going to continue with the trip. Further on in the movie, they end up running into this, crazy guy that lives up in the woods. And he's like a drunk. And he tells them that there's demons up in the woods. And he's basically your typical, prophet of doom, so to speak, kind of like on the Friday the 13th films, the earlier ones, how you had that, crazy Ralph. Well, he's kind of the same way, the same premise. So they just continue. Eventually they get to a point where they stop the camper because they can't go any further, and they're going to basically backpack the rest of the way. They make it pretty much to a stopping point where they're going to camp out for the night, and lo and behold, they're basically being stalked by these two mountain men, these two twins. They're basically like 6'3", 6'4", 300 pounds. I mean, they quoted at one point in the movie, they're built like the mountain. Okay. Now, they never really explain too much about these twins. You're kind of led to believe that they're inbred hillbillies. You end up meeting a younger lady in the film, and she's kind of wandering around out in the woods, and it's pretty much assumed that she's the sister of these two twins. And then this crazy family comes out, and they're spouting off about, you all need to get out of here. You've awakened the demon. You've awakened the demon. And so at this point they're starting to think something's going on here. But yeah, this film is it's different than most slasher films because you don't even get a kill until about halfway through the film. But to the credit of Jeff Lieberman, he does such a good job with developing the characters, the atmosphere, just the cinematography. It's not really needed. It's just such a beautiful backdrop. When you get treated to the kill, you're so invested in the characters, the death is meaningful. I mean, you just you feel good about the whole movie going through. So then later on, basically, nobody really notices that one of the guys in the trip's been, killed off. Two of the couples get picked off later on in the movie. You're basically left with I'd say the lead couple. You get the boyfriend and the girlfriend, she's beginning of the movie, she's kind of like the naive type, and so her story arc in the movie is that she develops into this badass heroine. She's the final girl at the end of the film, and she ends up fighting off these two mountain men twins. But yeah, it's just an amazing film. There's about a total of 4 kills in the film, so it's, like I said, it's not really like your typical slasher film. It's not relying on heavy gore. There are some gore scenes in there, but like I said, the first kill happens within at the midway mark in the film. So you get a quick kill in the beginning part of the film. He's not central character or anything, and then the next kill doesn't literally happen until halfway through the film. But yeah, like I said, this movie, I don't really know what it is about it. It just kind of reminds me of being a little kid and going out, camping and stuff with my family, or when I used to go to summer camp as a kid. I just love being outdoors, and this film kind of does it for me. If you like slasher films and you like camping and you just like being outdoors, then it's like the best of both worlds. You can't beat it. That's really all I can say about this film. The ending of this movie is it's incredible. Okay, without giving up too much, because I know some people haven't seen this film, yeah, the final girl in this film, you know, and the whole beginning of the film, you know, she's talking about, you know, I'm supposed to be better than this, because she's like the one that's a, you know, like a experienced hiker. So, you know, all the other people in the film are relying on her to basically get everybody safely to the top of the mountain. And, you know, she's scared a lot of times, and, you know, she's kind of naive. And then at the end of the film, when she ends up, you know, killing these two twins, you're like, wow, this girl she's badass. Okay. And then it's awesome how it just basically scans to dawn, and the film ends, and it's dawn, and they survived the night. And to me, that's the coolest thing about this film, is you get to see basically they arrive out in the woods during the daytime, they camp out at night, and then basically everything happens within a few hours at nighttime, and then the whole film wraps up at the end when the dawn's coming up. So it's kind of chilling when you see you see the sunrise for the first time at the end of the movie, after seeing everything crazy that happened in the film. It's just breathtaking, and the cinematography is just phenomenal in this film. But yeah, that's pretty much why I like this film. It's just different than your average slasher film. If you're looking for something different, and you're looking for something a little bit more substance instead of just knocking people off left and right, this film will deliver. Okay, easily in my top 10. What I plan to do probably later on is kind of do like a top 10 of my favorite slasher films. And this is definitely in my top 10. I mean, I've watched pretty much every film in my slasher collection several times, some more than others. And this one to me it's just the one that I seem to reach for the most. It's just, I just can't say enough about it. I love this film. Yeah, I highly recommend it. If you haven't bought the film, I would recommend getting the 88 Films release of this. It's just a great film. I can't say enough about it. Alright guys, that's pretty much what I got. One last thing I want to do before I end this video is I want to talk about my 100 subscriber giveaway. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm giving away 4 films. So I went to Walmart the other day, and I picked up 4 movies that I thought would be really good for people's collection. And when I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to go ahead and just give these away. So, as I stated before, the rules of this giveaway: you got to be a subscriber to my page, you got to comment on one of my videos, and you got to give it a thumbs up. And I will be giving away The Shallows, Prometheus, one of my favorites, The Lost Boys, and last but not least, a sealed collector's edition of Misery. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the content of this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave me some comments in the comment section. Tell me what you think about this review. Do you like this film? Is it in your top 10? Do you like the beer review that I did? What's your favorite beer? Let me know in the comment section. I'm curious to hear from everybody. Alright guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the film. Until next time, see you later.